Once upon a time, in a quaint little town nestled between rolling hills and whispering forests, there lived a curious child named Oliver. Oliver was an adventurous soul, always seeking new mysteries to unravel and hidden treasures to discover. One sunny afternoon, while rummaging through the dusty attic of his old Victorian home, Oliver stumbled upon a peculiar find, a pencil drawing of a strange family. The drawing depicted a family unlike any Oliver had ever seen before. Their faces were twisted into grotesque smiles, their eyes gleaming with an otherworldly glow. They stood against a backdrop of dark, swirling clouds, surrounded by an eerie aura that sent shivers down Oliver's spine. But it wasn't just the unsettling image that caught Oliver's attention. It was the inscription scrawled beneath it in shaky handwriting: "We live within your walls." Curiosity piqued, Oliver set out to uncover the mystery behind the strange drawing. He searched every nook and cranny of the old house, examining every inch of its walls for any sign of the mysterious family. But try as he might, he found nothing. Frustrated and perplexed, Oliver turned to the only person he knew could help him, his eccentric neighbor, Mrs. Abernathy. Mrs. Abernathy was known throughout the town for her knowledge of the occult and her collection of arcane artifacts. When Oliver showed her the drawing, Mrs. Abernathy's eyes widened with surprise. "Ah, the Wallers," she said, her voice tinged with a hint of fear. "A family of ancient spirits trapped within the walls of this house for centuries." Oliver's heart pounded in his chest as Mrs. Abernathy explained the dark history of the Wallers. Long ago, they had been a powerful and malevolent family who dabbled in dark magic and made a pact with dark forces beyond human comprehension. As punishment for their crimes, they were cursed to roam the halls of the house for all eternity, trapped between the realms of the living and the dead. Determined to free the house from the curse of the Wallers, Oliver and Mrs. Abernathy embarked on a perilous journey through the shadowy corridors and hidden passages of the old Victorian home. Armed with ancient incantations and mystical artifacts, they faced countless trials and tribulations as they battled the restless spirits that lurked within. But just as they were on the brink of banishing the Wallers once and for all, they made a horrifying discovery: Oliver's own family had been descendants of the cursed bloodline all along. The Wallers were not just trapped within the walls of the house, they were part of Oliver's very being, their dark legacy intertwined with his own. In a desperate bid to break the curse, Oliver sacrificed himself, offering his own life force to seal the spirits of the Wallers away for eternity. As he faded into the darkness, he whispered a solemn vow to protect his family and their home from the horrors that lurked within the walls. And so, the old Victorian house stood silent and still once more, its secrets buried deep within its crumbling walls. But in the darkness, whispers of the cursed family echoed through the halls, a reminder of the terrible price paid to keep their legacy at bay. As years passed, the memory of Oliver and the harrowing tale of the Wallers faded into legend. The old Victorian house remained standing, though it became known as the haunted mansion on the outskirts of town. Few dared to venture near it, and those who did spoke of strange occurrences, whispers in the night, shadows that moved of their own accord, and the feeling of being watched by unseen eyes. Despite the rumors, a new family moved into the house, unaware of its dark history. The Smiths were drawn to the charm of the Victorian architecture and the promise of a fresh start in a new town. But as they settled into their new home, they couldn't shake the feeling that something was amiss. Strange things began to happen. Objects would go missing only to reappear in odd places, doors would slam shut on their own, and eerie sounds echoed through the empty corridors at night. The Smiths tried to dismiss the occurrences as mere coincidence, but as the days passed, their unease grew. One fateful night, young Emily Smith discovered an old trunk hidden away in the attic. Inside, she found a dusty journal belonging to a previous resident of the house. As she flipped through the yellowed pages, she stumbled upon an entry detailing the legend of the Wallers, a tale of darkness and despair that sent shivers down her spine. Terrified, Emily showed the journal to her parents, who were equally disturbed by its contents. Determined to uncover the truth, they delved deeper into the history of the house, uncovering secrets long forgotten and buried beneath layers of time. Their research led them to a hidden chamber beneath the house, a forgotten crypt where the spirits of the Wallers lay dormant, waiting to be unleashed once more. As they stood before the ancient sarcophagi, a sense of dread washed over them, and they realized the true extent of the danger they were in. With the help of a local historian versed in the occult, the Smiths devised a plan to rid the house of the cursed spirits once and for all. Armed with ancient rituals and powerful incantations, they descended into the depths of the crypt, prepared to face whatever horrors awaited them. In a final showdown against the malevolent spirits of the Wallers, the Smiths risked everything to protect their family and their home. With the combined strength of their will and the magic of the ancients, they succeeded in banishing the cursed family back into the darkness from whence they came. As the last echoes of the Wallers faded away, the old Victorian house stood silent once more, its walls no longer haunted by the specter of the past. The Smiths emerged victorious, their bond stronger than ever, as they vowed to never forget the sacrifices made to ensure their peace and safety. And so, the legend of the Wallers became nothing more than a distant memory, a cautionary tale whispered in the shadows of the old Victorian house, a reminder of the darkness that lurks within us all, waiting to be unleashed if given the chance. With the curse of the Wallers finally lifted, the Smith family embraced their new life in the old Victorian house with a renewed sense of hope and optimism. The once haunted mansion became a place of warmth and laughter, filled with the sounds of children playing and the aroma of home-cooked meals drifting through the air. As the years passed, the memory of the Wallers faded into obscurity, becoming little more than a ghost story told around campfires on chilly autumn nights. The Smiths flourished in their newfound happiness, their bond growing stronger with each passing day. But deep within the shadows, the spirits of the Wallers lingered, their presence a mere whisper in the wind, a reminder of the darkness that had once threatened to consume them all. Though banished from the mortal realm, their malevolent energy remained, a haunting reminder of the price paid to break the curse. Yet, as the seasons changed and the years rolled by, the Smith family remained undaunted, their love for one another serving as a beacon of light in the face of darkness. And though the legacy of the Wallers would forever be etched into the history of the old Victorian house, it was the strength and resilience of the Smiths that ultimately prevailed, ensuring that their home would forever be a sanctuary of love and light in a world fraught with shadows.
Like, subscribe, and click on notifications that will allow you to stay up to date with the news and not miss videos from the channel, where there will be many more horror stories.